Juan and I would interview them in Spanish and take everything down in English. And so then for the credible fear interviews and declarations for the negative results, all of that is taken down and we have to present that to judges all in English. And so all of this information is in English, which is what Alana would look over. So she, I mean, although she wasn't like firsthand listening to these people's experiences, like she had to read everything detail by detail on paper.
And so we actually had a really great experience when we went to the actual immigration judge review, where the judge vacated the negative results, and that was just like really great because we saw them like on the there was a giant TV. They were present via televideo, and we were also told that the judge was known to not vacate these negative decisions, and so that was a really great experience.
The good experience was probably having actually sitting in and having a judge vacate a deportation order. My first day by far was probably the hardest, which I knew it would be. We were told beforehand, and this mother gets called in and she starts telling us about her traumatic experiences. But then she mentioned her daughter, and then she got pulled in, and we asked her a few questions, and then she just started crying and she was shaking. And for me, that was probably the hardest interview because I have sisters who are younger than I am. And so when I saw her, I saw, a younger version of my baby sister. She was dragged by classmates. And then luckily she stated that nothing actually happened to her physically. It was more so emotional. She didn't really want to talk about it because in Latin America, culture is very different. Sex is taboo. And I asked if I could take her on my own and go interview her in a separate room. And then she ended up telling me about all these other horrific things that happened to her. So it wasn't just one occasion, it was several. And so she had a giant scar on her knee where gang members had shoved a rod through her knee. And you see her and she's a girl, she's 14 years old, and how do you turn your back on that? How do you show no emotion to it?
My perspective changed, and it kind of it really inspired me to kind of pursue a career in immigration. It's something real, and especially now that it's just so relevant and it's all over the news. You can't open social media without looking at it.
Yeah, one thing I like to point out is before going on this trip, I always knew I've always been for immigration and stuff like that, and I knew that they were fleeing because of different things that are happening in their country. But I feel like the media doesn't talk about it as much as they should and stuff like that. With everything that's happening now, I feel like it's important to talk about this type of stuff because they're not terrorists. There are gangs in their country, and there are people who are doing bad things and stuff like that. But the people that are leaving are trying to flee from that, you know what I mean? So it's just a real eye-opening experience. So.